So guys, what's going on? Kell Brook sparks out the bazooka, Mark DeLuca. Listen, it was what it was. You know, we always knew that this guy had no business in the ring with Kell Brook. We knew that, Kell Brook would dismantle him, and that's exactly what happened. First couple of rounds, Kell Brook was cagey. He was obviously had a lot of ring rust. Not fighting for 14 months. He's older now. But you could clearly see that Mark DeLuca was very tough. Credit to him, he took a lot of shots. He went down in the second or third, I believe he went down, and then he got back up and gritted his teeth and fought diligently, fought valiantly. Didn't disgrace himself. Came in and put on a great performance. But I just think that he was totally outmatched, outclassed. Kell Brook was in a different league. But I think Kell Brook's. One thing I noticed in the Zarafa fight, and one thing I noticed now, and one thing I've noticed throughout his career, really, Kell Brook gets hit a lot, right? He's defensively not the greatest fighter out there. He gets hit quite a bit. He gets tagged. And I do worry for Kell Brook in the 154-pound division, because I think there's some real killers in the 154-pound division. And I don't know whether Kell Brook's going to be able to have a surge in the 154-pound division. They're talking about him fighting Liam Smith, and to me, that's a very dangerous fight for Kell Brook right now. I'll make a separate video about that, but I do worry for Kell Brook in the 154-pound division, in any division, because he can't really go down to 147. He's outgrown that. The 154 is full of killers. And people keep saying, well, no one can hold belts there. Everyone keeps losing. That's because the division has got so many good fighters, where you've got guys like Rosario, who apparently Brook's handlers think that that'll be a good idea for him to fight Rosario. Rosario is very, very tough. He can fight. He can punch. He can take a punch. That's a hard fight for someone like Kell Brook. You've got to realize this is a Kell Brook that's suffered 2 broken eye sockets. He's not physically the same man that he was years ago. And I think the 154-pound division is going to be very, very difficult for Kell Brook. It's not going to be easy at all. At all. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It's going to be very, very interesting. Because if that next fight is Liam Smith, that's a very hard fight for Kell Brook. Personally, I think that's a very, very hard fight. Let's not forget he beat, his stablemate, Liam Williams, who's also a good fighter. Liam Smith did a job on him. And not just that, Liam Smith, I've seen him fight quite a few times. He looks really, really good to me. I think he's quite underrated in a lot of British publics, in the British public's eyes. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's very durable. I think he can take a punch. I also think he's got power, and he's got good boxing ability. That's a very hard fight for Kell Brook. And I think the problem is, I think Liam Smith is still fresh, whereas Kell Brook's not fresh. Kell Brook's been injured. He's had his eye sockets damaged, and I don't think there is a lot left, right? And when you're fighting someone like Liam Smith is he's gonna make it a horrible fight. And I don't know whether Kell Brook's got it in him anymore to have a fight like that. He's going to have to fight someone. And if he wants to go to world level, he can't go to world level without facing a stern test. And Liam Smith, for me, is more than a stern test. I actually think that's a 50-50 fight. Or maybe I would even have Smith the favourite. The bookies may not do. But in my eyes, I have Liam Smith a slight favourite in that fight. I think he's a very underrated fighter. I think he's very good. I think he's a very good boxer. And I think he's got a lot more left in the tank than Kell Brook. I don't think Kell Brook's got much left. And like I said, I don't think we can take much or make much of this fight that he had with DeLuca, because DeLuca's like 3-4 levels way below. Way below. So, and the one thing I did notice, that I don't think Kell Brook's power. He systematically broke down DeLuca, but I don't think he's got the power at 154. So I think those guys are not going to be affected by his power. And I think that's where he's going to struggle, if I'm honest. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So guys, Kid Galahad beats Moreira. It was a good performance by Galahad. Galahad's a very tricky customer. He's not the most exciting fighter in the world. He's not pretty to watch. He's quite dirty at times. You know, uses his forearm and his elbows and stands on, you know, the stands on your feet, and he makes it very awkward and horrible. And I can understand why not many people want to fight him, and he has to get into mandatory positions because he's not a guy that you're going to pick as a voluntary, you know. And now I believe he's mandatory again to Josh Warrington's title. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Josh Warrington's not going to be too happy about that. That Kid Galahad's getting another opportunity to fight. You know, fight him. Obviously he's going to have to fight him. Otherwise, you know, he's gonna have to vacate the belt. I think he will. I think if, you know, if it's a case where the Shakur Stevenson fight don't get made, I think he would probably fight him because there will be some demand for that fight. However, it's not. Galahad's not a fan-friendly fighter. He's not a guy that people really want to see. He makes the fight awkward, messy, and it's a horrible watch. You know, it's a horrible watch. He's very effective at what he does, and he's very awkward. He's good at what he does, but as a boxing fan, he's not pretty and he's not great to watch, and he makes the fight quite boring as well. So he's a good fighter. You know, many people thought he beat Warrington the first time. I think this fight with Warrington the second time, I think again it will be another tricky fight for Warrington. So I do think that Warrington's going to look to get unification fights, and he's going to look to avoid it, but he can only avoid it to a point, because eventually, if now that he's become mandatory, you know, that's going to be enforced on him. So, and I don't think Warrington's the type of guy that's going to vacate for Kid Galahad. He's just not going to do it. So I think he'll probably have to fight Kid Galahad again. Warrington will probably want that fight again in his hometown in Leeds, and he'll probably be favored again, because the thing is with Galahad, the fight's going to go exactly the same way. I don't see Galahad's not stopping Warrington. Warrington's too tough, and I just see that fight going the same way, and I think Warrington probably get the decision again. I don't think it was a robbery like the way people saw it. I don't think Galahad did enough, in the sense that he didn't really go and take it from the champion. You know, there were close rounds, and you know, there was nip and tuck, and he wasn't doing it was just a hard to watch, that fight. It was really a terrible watch, and you could say that Warrington his work rate was a lot more than Galahad. Galahad was probably landing the cleanest shot. It was a tricky fight to score, and like I said, I don't think Warrington's looking forward to fighting Galahad again, but he's going to have to. And is Warrington going to look to step it on the gas this time, look to pressurize him more? Is he going to look to, you know, take him to the deep end and try drowning him this time and just be more aggressive with him? Because, you know, Galahad, he's quite strong. He's quite a strong fighter as well. Although he's awkward and messy, he's quite strong. He wrestles a lot. He tires you that way. You know, he's very good, effective with using his forearms and elbows, and he's brilliant at using that as well. So overall, he's a very tricky fighter, a very tricky puzzle to solve. And I, like I said, I just see the second fight going exactly the same way as the first one. It's just whether Galahad can win the decision this time. It's gonna be tough, because I think, again, Warrington's gonna be the favored guy. He's gonna probably be fighting in his hometown again if they were to make that fight. But it was a good performance by Galahad against Moreira. He did what he had to do. Made it awkward, horrible, which what Galahad does all the time. Hard to hit. Although Moreira did catch him a few times, I just think, Galahad put on a you could say boxing masterclass. It was a very, very good performance. But even if Galahad doesn't get the Warrington fight, there's other fighters that he could probably fight. Maybe Jojo Diaz. Other featherweights that maybe make good fights with him as well. So maybe he should target those guys. But obviously, he wants to fight Warrington. He wants to fight for the IBF belt. He feels he was wrong the first time. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the future holds for Galahad. Leave your thoughts, guys. And make sure to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. So, guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So, Dave Allen starches Dorian Darch in 3 rounds. Great to see the Doncaster De La Hoya back. Great performance. First 2 rounds, he was a bit passive, wasn't doing much. And then in the 3rd round, he came out storming and dismantled Dorian Darch. I think his trainer probably gave him a bit of a bollocking in the corner. And, then Dave Allen came out with a lot more urgency and battered him. I think this is a level that Dave Allen, or just a little bit higher than this, that Dave Allen should be operating at. I don't think he should be operating at either Dubois and George Joyce's and Chisora's like, they wanted him to operate at. He's just not at that level. We saw against David Price, who's not really a world-class fighter himself, put on such a beating on Dave Allen. I think Dave Allen is at a level below that, and I don't think he should be operating at anything higher than that, because after hearing some of the stories about him being almost in a bad way after the last fight, he was saying that he was paralyzed for a little while. So I think people around him need to look out for him. And they were talking about the Daniel Dubois fight not so long ago. I think that would be crazy, and anybody looking to put Dave Allen in a fight with Daniel Dubois is crazy, because that fight's only going to end one way. Let's be honest, Dave Allen can't beat Daniel Dubois, right? And Dubois is a very big puncher. He's a powerful guy, and we know that Dave Allen can't get out of the way of punches, and he's just gonna get hurt. So why do you really want to see that fight? We've seen him against Tony Yoka. We've seen him against David Price. We've seen him against Dylan White. We've seen him against Luis. Like, you're just putting a lamb to get slaughtered, really. Why? Why do you want it? No one wants to see that. Like, I'd rather see Dave Allen in a fight against a lower level guy and him winning, right, and gaining confidence, right? But I don't even think by him gaining confidence he should be moved up, because we've seen what happens when he moves up to that level. He gets really badly battered. And the thing is with Dave Allen, he's got such a good chin that he's able to take the punches, but in the long run, that's not good for his health moving forward. He's got a life to live. He's only 27 years of age. He's got a life to live out of boxing. So I really hope that they don't push him in there with anybody again that is going to could be dangerous for him. Because although he's got a great punch resistance, that over time is not going to be the same, and he might start getting starched. So it's really important for him to stay at this level, or a little bit higher than this level. I don't want to see him be fighting guys that are like the Chisoras, like the George Joyces, like the Daniel Dubois. They're too good for him. They're too good for him, and he has no chance of beating those guys. Maybe a rematch against Nick Webb. I think that makes sense. And even that's a fight which you'd probably favor Nick Webb, if you're honest. The thing is with Dave Allen, promoters love him because he's very popular. And, the crowd, he's got, a lot of the crowd get behind him. He sells a lot of tickets. So I understand why Frank Warren wanted him to fight Daniel Dubois, because Daniel Dubois needs a dance partner. Daniel Dubois is not that well known. It'll help Daniel Dubois' profile by fighting Dave Allen, because it's a no-risk fight. They'll pay Dave Allen decent money, and they'll be able to pay Daniel Dubois decent money, and it's a good fight in terms of viewership. People will tune in to watch it, but it's not a competitive fight. It's a fight which could do Dave Allen serious damage to his health. So I'm glad that fight didn't happen, and I don't think Dave Allen should be operating at that level. I think what he should do is look when the British title is vacated, and if it comes in the hands of somebody that is a fighter that Dave Allen can handle, maybe look to make that fight rather than look to fight the winner of Dubois or Joyce, which I don't think anybody around him is going to be crazy enough to put him in there. I hope so anyway, because Dave Allen is crazy. He'd probably fight Dubois or the winner of Dubois Joyce, which is not. It's too that level is too much for him personally. But it's great to see Daniel Dubois. I mean, it's great to see Dave Allen on winning ways. Hopefully he can kick on and gain some confidence now, and hopefully see him in some fights that he can win. But leave your thoughts. I think a fight with Nick Webb is a great fight. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And peace out.